Did he say that he had been kidnapped, if that's what you think happened?
He did use the word. He said he had been kidnapped and that he was in Jackson and that he was all right. In a very calm voice, she said, as he usually is in any emergency, and that he needed money to be wired to him, and he would return home as soon as possible.
Do you have any idea that this could perhaps be a planned thing? He was helped break a narcotics ring in Richardson a number of years ago. Do you think somebody had planned this?
No, I do not. Those two things would be completely unrelated. I think that Doctor probably was at the right time, at the right place, when someone needed a ride, and it just happened to have been him with a car.
And on a Friday the 13th?
And on Friday the 13th.
I want some of the income tax to come back to the state with no strings attached, that we be able to use this money in important areas such as education, better law enforcement, water and pollution problems. My program at the end of 5 years would result on 67 income $390 million. And I want to have block grants come to the state that we bring, like into Dallas. Let's bring the money in a block grant to state, and then we bring the money down into local level, and you people here in Dallas are better equipped to solve your own problems and can do it cheaper and more effectively. Then I want to do something to expand the overall economy of Texas. We've got to get more jobs in our great poverty areas, and like in West Texas up there, they're hurting for industry. I want to do something that Governor Rhodes of Ohio, Governor Reagan of California, Governor Bartlett have been doing it. Governor Bartlett is able to increase at the end of 2 years 400% in industrial investment. We're going to have a system of vocational and technical schools on a regionalized basis, and then an industrial commission where we find all the needs and resources throughout the state. And then you have the governor as the head of this, going anywhere in the United States to get industry.
He looks a lot like Bob. They say he can run a 9.3 100. Of course, he's mostly a hurdler, but I would say that he looks just about like Hayes, and he looks just as fast as Hayes. He's small and doesn't weigh quite as much as Bob does, but he'll scare you the same way that Hayes does when he goes deep.
Well, it was
What do you think your next Friday the 13th is going to be like?
Well, I'll tell you about my former Friday the 13th. I used to stay in bed on those days, and I think the next Friday the 13th I'll probably do the same thing. I am very superstitious about it.
I think it's a more complicated question than Mr. Smith would have you lead you to believe, because I have gone around all over the state, and the Wallace movement is strong. I've walked into the headquarters and I've talked to Wallace people. I have, in Lubbock, like they say, most of my literature has been picked up, is they come up and has been taken over to the Wallace headquarters. So someone over in that headquarters is friendly to Eggers. I don't know why in Lubbock. I think you find and I use the term because it's one that is used, I don't like the term, the blue-collar worker outside the plants, the Dow Chemical, Wallace stickers, one after the other, all over. These people, if they voted Republican at all, they voted Republican at the national level, and they voted traditionally Democrat at the state level. A lot of those people are going to pull the lever straight Wallace and walk away from it. And a lot of them I've talked to have the idea that they're with Wallace, they're going to have a change. The Wallace people said, we're going to change this thing. Part of their philosophy of change is going to carry over into state offices, and I'm going to get votes from this element that's going to change everything. They're going to change at state level, they're going to vote for a Republican.
I see it as the same old trend. This is an election year, and it's happened every 2 years on election years, recent history in my memory. About 2 years ago, we had a race over in the 3rd Congressional District where there was a considerable amount of evidence to support a charge that some of the liberal Democrats supported the liberal Republican candidate. And that's not unusual. It's unfortunate, but it happens. We'll lose some to Wallace, certainly, and we may lose some to the Republicans. But by and large, those who support Governor Wallace for president are going to vote for the known quantities while they're in the voting booth. And I think they will support the state and local candidates of the Democratic Party.